¿qué es o dónde se siente mejor, si en giras, conciertos, sesiones de estudio o jams? Maurice, tours and concerts, studio sessions, jams, rehearsals, production work. Where do you feel most comfortable, or where you have learned the most?
It's a funny thing. All of it are different parts of like a machine. It's like a sports car almost. It's like you have the tires, you have the motor, you have the interior, you have all the things that when you put it together, you have a beautiful machine. And it's like music. I mean, the studio is fun when you're creating music and you're making the music, and then you do go through the process, and then the other part is the live part where you play the music on the stage in front of people.
Ahora mismo lo que más disfruta es actividades o eventos como este, ¿no? De poder compartir con gente joven todo lo que él ha ido aprendiendo durante todos estos años, con Prince y otras cosas que él ha hecho.
Le vamos a preguntar qué es lo que aprendió trabajando con Prince, que todavía que sigue todos los días, tanto desde el punto de vista musical como humano.
With Prince, there was many lessons. One of the main lessons was it's not a mistake until you stop. It was a big deal for him. When you play, things will happen. Just like, somebody will do this, somebody do that. It's okay. It's only a mistake when you stop. Play through. It's like life. Things happen. Keep it moving.
No es un error hasta que paras. It's not a mistake until you stop. O sea, él se refiere que cuando estás en directo pueden haber cosas que tú no controles, pueden pasar muchas cosas y tú tienes que seguir tocando y adaptarte a eso, ¿no? Y eso es una de las cosas que más le ha impresionado, ¿no? No es un error hasta que te detienes. Por tanto, si hay algún pequeño error, sigue tocando y sale adelante.
One of so many questions. Can I ask you about Maserati? Can I ask you about Maserati and Kiss? Because as far as I know, Kiss was given to Maserati, and then at a certain point Prince decided, no, I'm having this back. And again, as far as I know, your vocals are still on the record. Is that true? Can you tell us about Maserati and Kiss?
Las voces de Morris están en el Kiss de Maserati, ¿verdad?
Yes. So the rumor is true. The song was meant for Maserati, which was a band of Brown Mark. The reason I went to Minnesota was for that band, but that record was done before I came on the second album. But I had a demo of Prince doing it as a country and western song, but then he decided to keep it and left the vocals of Maserati on the album. So they are still there, even though he decided to use it for his record, which was a smart move. It was a big hit for him.
Bueno, pues ha dicho que esto fue antes de que él se incorporara a Maserati, pero que sí, efectivamente Maserati grabó la canción y al final Prince decidió quedársela porque era una canción muy buena, pero sí que mantuvieron las voces de los chicos de Maserati.
Un momento importante de la carrera de Prince es el símbolo. Él empezó a trabajar con Prince cuando se llamaba Prince y luego pasó a ser el símbolo Prince. La cuestión es, él entendió en ese momento su lucha contra Morris, entendió la lucha de Prince contra las compañías y estos problemas que tuvo Prince actualmente existen. ¿Y qué opina él?
No. No, actually, I did ask Prince about it. When it happened, Prince was away, and I was in Paisley Park in Studio A, and we always have a TV on the news in Studio A. It's just on, even though no sound. And this would happen a lot. TV comes on, Prince is on, we're like, oh, Prince, turn it up. And they go, Prince has changed this. The way it first happened, I'm going to try to keep it short. Madonna got a $50 million record deal. She is on the same label, Warner Brothers, as him. We heard about it watching television, and he goes, what? They gave Madonna $50 million? Well, they're going to give me $100 million. Right? So we're like, okay, wow. So we're watching TV, And sure enough, we see him come on TV that he's got a $100 million deal and all of this thing. So when this how it happened, they talk about the unpronounceable. He changed his name to this symbol. And so I'm like, what? He's done no name? And I was like, what is he doing? So he gets back. I said, Prince, what are we going to call you? Like, what? He said, if I'm always near, you never have to call me.
Ha dicho que en el estudio, mientras trabajaban, siempre había una televisión encendida, veían las noticias y bueno, estaba el sonido quitado y cuando apareció algo de Prince, ¡pam! O sea, ¿qué están diciendo? Entonces comentaban que, no sé qué compañía ha dicho, Warner le había dado un contrato de $50 millones a Madonna y Prince cuando, 50 millones, pues yo quiero 100 millones. ¿No? Y ahí empezaron los problemas. Y luego la última parte que ha dicho...
Pues lo último que le ha dicho es, pero ¿cómo te vamos a llamar ahora si eres un símbolo? Y ha dicho, dijo Prince, si siempre estás conmigo nunca tendrás que llamarme. Si siempre estás cerca nunca tendrás que dirigirte a llamarme por mi nombre.
You didn't really have much, especially in the early days, much of a, at least I didn't, of a personal life. It was very difficult because of the amount of time I had to spend at the studio. Just learning, I had to learn all of the songs, going back to the 80s. Because the thing about, of course, the later you come in, the more material that you have to know. The revolution stopped at the revolution era. I still play revolution songs and NPG. The girls from Third Eye Girl had to play NPG and revolution. So the longer you go, the more you have to do. And so in the early days, Prince worked MTV every day, movies, videos, everything. It was crazy. So I learned to not sleep very much and just work all the time. And occasionally, you know, you got to do stuff. But I could never make a schedule. Anytime I go to, like, I'm gonna go somewhere, Prince would somehow, every time, they're like, okay, we're gonna have it next week. I'm like, no, I bought a plane ticket to Las Vegas. Like, God, and every time. So I just stopped doing it.
Menos días, en la pregunta era de cómo separaba su vida personal, ha venido a decir que no tenía prácticamente vida personal. O sea, tanto trabajo, tantas cosas, Prince continuamente estaba grabando nuevos discos y bueno, esto lo que la idea principal es esta, que es que no había vida personal.
Cuanto más tiempo pasabas con él, menos podías dedicarlo a tu vida personal porque tenías que aprender de Revolution, de MPG y bueno, pues poco dormir y mucho trabajar, básicamente.
Morris disfrutaba de los after shows, o sea, de los conciertos post-concierto, y si tiene constancia de que en los 90, en la era más analógica, están grabados, y si tiene constancia de que en algún momento los veremos.
The first question was if you enjoy the after shows as much as we do. And also, if you know if there is any recording of the 90s after shows, and if the state is planning to release them, please.
Well, number one, that was the kind of the most fun, was the after show, because that was less preparation. It's like nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. It's just like it was stress because I had to load samples, and so I would try to tell Prince, like, Prince, please, what are you going to do? We're going to wing it. Like, oh no. So he would give me an indication, so I go, oh, punch, and then the sounds would come. But it was fun because it was like, we're just going to do what we love and play the music we love to play. And the people that we like to hear, James Brown, Sly Stone, all of those things. As far as the shows, Prince recorded everything. Everything. The video, audio, the estate has all of that stuff. I hope they will curate that material and release it so that the people can see all of the. But there's so many people who never saw Prince.
Yes.
That this would be amazing because every one of it is different. Every show is different because he made it so.
Bueno, él ha venido a decir que era más divertido incluso tocar en estos after shows que no en los shows en directo, ¿no? Menos responsabilidad y también, bueno, no saber exactamente claro, porque se improvisaba mucho. Entonces lo que hacían era tocar versiones de otros artistas que a ellos les gustaba, a James Brown u otras, ¿no? Y él decía que sería estupendo también, creo que ha dicho, de si hubiera quedado constancia grabada.
Sabe que Prince grababa todo y que está en el Vault y que el State, pues él espera que lo archiven bien y lo saquen adelante.
Que presione. Si puede.
Can you press them? Can you press the State to release them?
Press the snot out of them. I will crush them to the end of time. My personal view is I would like to see more music coming out of the estate. That's my big thing, is that there's so much music, there's so much film, there's so many things that I think people are interested in. I'm hoping, and I've offered my services to the estate in whatever way that I can help. I think people just need to hear. They come out with, these big packages and things every now and again, and they're very well done. But I just think that it's a slow kind of release. And for me personally, I would love for people like the NPG stuff, for Exodus should be released. Release Exodus.
Yes. Prince y Bowie.
Se sabe también que Prince mismo hizo una cover de Bowie, que es la canción Heroes. Entonces, quisiera saber si Prince y Bowie llevaron a tener un contacto próximo.
I hope so. David Bowie is one of my favorites for many, many different reasons. He's not only a great artist, but he did a lot for music, for black artists. When MTV was first starting, they wouldn't play Prince, they wouldn't play Michael Jackson, and David Bowie stood up for all of us in music, and so I love David. Prince loved David. I did so many things in the vault. I hope that there's something that him and David did. I would be like, oh my God, it would be great. I remember, what's my guy with Peter Gabriel that came to a show, and I talked to Peter for a while, and he was like, man, I would love to do something. I'm like, oh my God, Peter. He's like, he told me about his studio and said, you should come to my studio. I'm like, if you go there right now and open the door, I'm standing in there already. There were so many artists that wanted to work with Prince that I really wished that he had. And some before my time, like Miles Davis and some of the others did before me, I went in the vault and I would see their names on tapes. And I'm like, oh man, all of these different artists that would be names on tapes. And when I would go in the vault, and I was like, oh, what is this? Like, what, so.
David Bowie es uno de sus artistas favoritos por muchas razones. Luego ha dicho que ojalá exista esa colaboración y acaba diciendo que en The Vault, que es como la cámara acorazada, como una donde ellos guardan todo este material, que entraba allí y veía los nombres, ¿no?, de diferentes artistas, de grabaciones que hay con Prince, y que se impresionaba y que ojalá algún día se puedan salir a la luz, ¿no?
Kind of question. Was there a point in your professional career, let's say in your whole life, in which you started to think like, okay, now I'm a professional? Or did it happen first, that someone came to you and called you a professional?
Personally, I have the syndrome that it's hard for me to believe that I'm like Prince, like great like that. I always felt like I somehow snuck on the bus and somehow I managed to stay. It's just my thing. It's just like I just, so I did realize when I started doing things and you really are doing a lot, and there's all of these celebrities, Tom Cruise, and all of these people that are around at the shows, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, and I'm like, but you're Tom Cruise. You know, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, everybody from all walks of life loved Prince. And they would come to the shows, Eddie Murphy, everybody. And they would talk to me like they know me. And I'm like, I had Woody Harrelson while he was in London doing a movie, Larry Flint. I went in this club and Woody said, Mr. Hayes. I'm like, Woody Harrelson, you know I know everybody in the band. I'm like, what? And that's the moments I feel like, I guess I'm a rock star. It's crazy. Because I don't expect, but they're Prince fans. A big director who now is my friend. Star Wars. I'm having a brain freeze right now. But no. The new director.
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. J.J. I'm so sorry. I just blew your name. J.J. came to me at Prince's house. His friend. And said, hey man, I have somebody that wants to meet you. And I said, sure. He says, his name is J.J. Abrams. Do you know him? I said, no. And he says, okay. And he brings him over and J.J.'s like, hey, nice to meet you, Mr. Hayes. Like, it's kind of like, hey man. And the guy says, oh, J.J. did Lost, Alias, all this. I said, I love that show. I love this show. Me and my wife, we watched the show. It's great. And he's like, oh man, I'm a big fan. Now he's like Star Wars, Star Trek, Mission Impossible. He's the director for. I mean, bro, it's like, and I can call, I can text like JJ. I'm watching the movie. It's great, man. And he's like, I'm glad you like it. That's crazy, you know. So it is times when I realize the gravity of the situation and know that okay, I've done something here and I've made it. I don't take it too seriously. I make a joke about like I'm a rock star, but I still go to the store. I still get on the train. I still do things that everybody does. It's like it's just, you know, I just work in a really cool business.
¿En qué punto se consideró profesional, ¿no? Y él ha dicho pues que realmente todavía tiene un poco el síndrome del impostor, que le cuesta creer que él es esa estrella y que muchas veces en los shows venía gente famosa, le decía Mr. Hayes y él decía, me está diciendo a mí Woody Harrelson, ¿no? Y bueno, pues eso, que realmente le cuesta creerlo, pero que, pues, que está agradecido, ¿no? de todo esto.
Y también ha contado, ¿no? que ahora uno de sus amigos es J.J. Abrams, el director y creador de Perritos, ¿no? De Lost. Y que bueno, cuando se lo presentó, pues que estaba como alucinado, ¿no? de conocer a
Tratado de que no se le suba a la cabeza.
Que no se le suba a la cabeza.
Porque él está hablando con Tom Cruise, está hablando con actores muy famosos, pero luego tiene que ir al supermercado a comprar, a hacer la compra, como cualquier otra persona.
Digo, Morris ha tocado con muchas bandas, ¿de acuerdo? Y él ha tocado con muchos bajistas, teclistas y guitarras. Me gustaría saber de todos ellos cuál es su guitarrista favorito, su bajista favorito y su batería favorita.
Con los que ha tocado con...
That's very tough. Only
Es muy difícil.
only because I spanned a lot of bands. And in every band, Prince was always, this is my greatest band. In every band that I was in, this is my greatest band. I one time did exactly this to a guy that was standing next to me in a club. He said, hey man, who's your favorite? And this is before the internet got taken off, but it was starting to be there. And I was talking to this guy, just having a drink. We just like standing around and we're just talking. And he said, I said, well, you know, Michael Bland, and my guy, and blah, blah, blah. And the next thing I know, it's in the press. And I'm like, and the Prince is like, Morris, like, you can't, you don't want to make your bandmates feel bad. Like, you know, and I said, Prince, it's my honest, at that time, my honest assessment. You know, Michael Bland is like amazing. It's like, you know, Sonny is a genius. And that's who I came in with, is Michael and Sonny. And they are unbelievable. But Prince has always had these incredible players. Renato Neto is like, I just go like, oh my God. I can't even, like, he makes me mess up just listening to him. I'm just like, oh my God, what did he just do? There's so many greats.
Todos le parecen bien y que en su momento pues su favorito era Michael Blunt, la banda de la MPG. Pero que una vez dijo que esos eran sus favoritos y pues le dijo, oye, ten cuidado porque no puedes tampoco dejar a otros miembros de la banda que se sientan mal. Pero vamos, básicamente ha sido eso, ¿no?
Bueno, sí que cada banda que ha tenido, él en aquel momento decía, esta es mi mejor banda.
Esta es mi mejor banda.
Y que ha alucinado con muchos de los músicos que ha tenido Prince, como por ejemplo Renato Nero, ¿no? Que en este caso también era teclista, ¿no?
Quería decirle a Boris que es un gran honor tener la posibilidad de que esto para mí es lo más cerca que puedo estar de Prince y hacerle...
Entonces,
y preguntarle qué es lo que le pide él a un músico para tocar con él y qué opina de las bandas que hacen homenaje a Prince.
I personally, and I would tell Prince this, I personally would tell Prince about tribute bands. And I said, Prince, this is the most respectful way to show somebody what you feel about them. I said, it's an honor to have somebody play your music in tribute to you. I think it's an honor. And I know it personally, when I come to things, it's important for me to always give back to the fans. If there's no people who listen to our music, come to our shows, we are nothing. We have nothing. I can sit in my basement and make music all day, and nobody will ever know. But people have stood outside in the cold, in the rain, in the heat, and paid a lot of money. The least I can do is say thank you.
Because we know a lot of Prince stories, but he's doing a lot of songs in maybe 5 hours. But I guess there's a lot of things that you added and we don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Oh yeah, tens of thousands of dollars, and they were like, they would tell us like, hey, this is like $50,000. This is too much money. I'm like, hey, don't talk to me. Tell Prince. He's the one who wanted us to be here. And they're like, this is crazy. Like all of the manager people, like, you know, he's recording all the time. I'm like, that's what he wants to do. You know, don't talk to me. I do what he asked me to do, you know. There's some music that we played on. There's some stuff in the vault that's very cool. And stuff that he would let us, you know, he would let me, like, Morris, you go ahead and do this. Welcome to America was that for me. I did it 10 years ago. And it just went in the vault. And Prince had asked me to come over. He called me and said, hey, can you come by the studio? I'm going to play you something. And I sit in the car. I get there. He's waiting for me in his car. We get in the car and we play the music. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is great, Prince. I'm like, this is very political. I'm like, you got a few songs that's saying some things. And he said, yeah, I'm just kind of feeling like, you know, I'm feeling like this right now. And I said, yeah, man. He says, I want you to take it home, which that was crazy. Take it home and just, you know, overproduce it. He said, do whatever. I'll take away what I don't need. I'll take out. I said, cool. And so every day I'd go work on a song, come back, I love it. Go back, work on a song, come back, I love it. I did this I think I did like 6 tracks, I think, out of the 10 that was on that thing. And it was very cool. I mean, just to play on that, and then it got stored away. I thought it would never see the light of day. And there's some other things that's in there that I think. So and we do it so fast, I forget. It's like we did it, and it was like we learned it in one day, and then we went on to something else, and it's like poof, it's gone. You know, because we just did it and then put it on the shelf.
Dice que a veces le decía, ven al coche a escuchar una grabación de igual hace 10 años.
Welcome to America, que es un disco que él produjo.
Que hace 10 años que igual ya no había oído, ¿no? Y ya no, la idea general es esta, ¿no?
Básicamente que hay muchísimo material en el que él ha participado y eso, pues que le encantaría también que saliera.
Y que cuando Prince apartaba a los temas decía que no salía, como fue el caso de Welcome to America, pues era de un día para otro y se olvidaba, es como si se hubiera olvidado de ese disco, ¿no? Y ahí se quedó hasta que nos salió hace 3 o 4 años.
Mucho tiempo trabajaban una canción, un día una canción.
Bueno, se lo pasaba a él para que lo produjera y lo... Se lo iba pasando y era uno. Pero luego se acabó el disco y lo apartó y se olvidó de él. Y hasta que no se ha publicado, pues hasta hace 3 años.
Una verdadera amistad entre Prince y Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, Prince told me about a story with him, Lenny Kravitz, and Michael went to the studio. They were in the studio together, and he told me, he said, look, I don't care what you think. He said, Michael is a pimp. He said he came in, he had on a fishing hat, like a fishing hat, and in a disguise, you know, Michael. But there were some girls at the studio, and Michael's in there. He's sitting like this. As he's talking to the girls, he said, "Hey, what's your name? What do you do?" And he's talking to the girls, and they're like, Michael. He's like, "Yeah. What do you do for a living? Hey, I like it." And it's like Michael, and they said they were all talking about Madonna. I'm like, yeah, you know, Madonna was hanging out. Michael's like, yeah, Madonna. She's a trip. And they're like, what are you talking about? You know? But he's like, no, he's like very much competitive. They were very competitive, but they had a lot of respect for each other. I went to see Michael's movie, This Is It. And I was in LA, Prince was in LA, and I went to the movie on my own. I went by myself. I just said, I want to see it. I had seen Michael right before he died. I went to his rehearsal because I'm friends with a lot of his MD and his choreographers, and so I was doing a thing for my kids for cancer thing that I do, and some of Michael's people shot some video for me for these kids, and so I went to Michael's rehearsal for that tour. So I saw him 2 weeks before he died. They were very competitive, but they were very cool in terms of, when I saw this movie, Michael said, when music comes to him, when the song comes to him, he said, I have to do it right away because if I don't do it, then God will give it to Prince. And I was like, what? So I told Prince, I said, Prince, I said, have you seen Michael's movie? He said, no, I haven't seen it yet. And I said, you gotta go see this thing. He gave you a backhanded compliment. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, he said that when music comes to him, he has to do it right away because God gives it to him. And if he don't use it, then he gives it to you. And so we had a laugh about it. It was like, he said, really? I said, yeah. So apparently it's God, Michael.
Bueno, la amistad sí que existía, como ha dicho él.
Respeto, sobre todo.
Sí, muy competitivos, pero también respetándose mucho. Ha explicado una anécdota, pero no acabo de entender. Una anécdota con unas chicas en el...
Bueno, yo no voy a imitar a Michael Jackson, pero básicamente estaba en el estudio y estaba Michael Jackson con la pierna así, hablando con una chica y diciendo, hola, ¿cómo te llamas? Cosas así. Sí. Y luego, ¿qué más ha dicho Monse?
Luego ha hablado de la película This Is It, que fue la película que narra un poco los ensayos de los últimos conciertos que tenía que hacer Michael Jackson justo antes de morir, y que hay unas declaraciones en esa película muy divertidas que dice que la música venía como de Dios hacia él y digo que
si no se lo quedaba, se lo mandaba a Prince.
Quedármelo porque si no Dios se lo mandará a Prince.
Y Morris le dijo, me ha dicho Michael
se lo contó a Prince,
que si no se lo queda él, Dios te lo va a mandar a ti. O sea, que solo hay 2 pasos, Dios, Michael y tú.
O sea, que se respetaba, pero era realmente muy competitivo.
How it ended with you and Prince, and at what point did he decide you are no longer part of his band?
No, Prince, la relación en la banda con Morris.
In 2012, before I answer, just want to acknowledge a couple of friends from the United States that came out.
Tanya and Kevin.
Thank you. He came all the way, Arizona, all the way out here.
United States. Thank you.
Around the world. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. In 2012, Prince had went to a concert, 20, I think somewhere in this, with Esperanza Spalding. And she had 6 horn players, 6. And he said, I saw Esperanza's show, and she has 6 horn players, but I didn't think they were utilized, so I said, I'm gonna get 12. I'm gonna get 12 horn players, and then I'm gonna show her how it goes. And so he got all of these horn players. So what Prince's whole thing was, the reason why his sound was what it was, is back in the 70s when he started, every band had a horn section. Earth, Wind and Fire, Ohio Players, Average White Band, everybody had a horn section. He wanted to get the same sound, but only play horn parts on keyboards, which is why you hear all this stuff is like horn parts on a keyboard. So he started a whole sound by utilizing synthesizers as horn parts. So at this point in 2012, now he's back, but even bigger than nobody I know has, unless you're like a big band, have 12 horn players. So that meant my parts are kind of like, the horns are doing everything. I'm basically playing bongos and some organ. And I could tell that I had ran my course. And it was like, you know, so at the very end, we were doing Jimmy Kimmel. He was going to do Jimmy Kimmel. And he called me and said, there's a limo going to come and pick you up at your house. I lived in LA. He says, there's a limo going to come pick you up at the house at like 10 or 12 o'clock. And I got dressed up and I'm like, you know, ready to go to the waiting. And then finally, after a while, I said, nobody's going to come. It's too late in the day to come. And I just said, no problem. I'll just go back to work or whatever. So they do the show. He calls me and said, oh yeah, I decided to just go with the crew I had. And we're going to play at this place tonight, the Sayers Club. He said, we're going to play there tonight. You have a tablet, write these songs down. So I said, yeah, sure. I wrote down the songs. I went to play, and Josh, who was the drummer's husband, he said, I want Josh to shadow you, just to watch what you do. That is this key to knowing when the end is. It's like he's going to look at me to try to see what I'm doing, which is impossible. So, no. But I'm like, sure, you know, because I know at this point, you know, when you know, I had, you know, because we got into a very big fight in Chicago at the last arena show that I did, because the sound was terrible, and Prince was doing this whole thing where he wanted to mix monitors from the stage, and I'm like, this is crazy. And Prince is going to keep sounding terrible because nobody does it this way. So it was terrible. Feedback on like, and I'm like, and he was like, Morris, what? I said, Prince, I'm not a sound man. That's not my thing. And he said, you know, Morris, I'm gonna do some different things. I was like, do what you gotta do, brother. It's okay. I've been here for 20 years. I'm good, man. Let these kids make some money. It's okay. And I always knew that one day my time would come to an end. And I would always be grateful and say, much obliged. Thank you, brother, for the ride. It was the best ride of my life. So I'm not mad at you. It's all good. You feel some kind of way because it's the end of an era, you know, for that long, you know. And I can't complain. He did very well by me, which is why I'm here now. It's because Prince did great by me. He paid me a lot of money. I did a lot of things that I never dreamed I would do. And so for that, I am eternally grateful. It's okay.
La razón es por una sección de viento que quería incorporar de dos
Él fue a un concierto de Esperanza Spalding que tenía 6 vientos y cuando Prince lo vio dijo yo quiero 12 y quiero que suene mejor que esto, y le gustó, entonces decidió hacer cambios, ahí empezó a hacer cambios. Luego ha contado también que tuvo una discusión con él por temas de sonido.
Por el sonido, sí, que fue muy mal el sonido, los monitores.
Prince discutió con él y él le dijo, yo no soy técnico de sonido, entonces
claro,
a mí no
como que le hizo responsable.
Eso le hizo
Aparte,
responsable.
él dice que las partes de los horns ya no las dejaba de hacer él y las hacían los horns, ¿no?
Eso fue gradualmente y al final él se dio cuenta de que había llegado el fin de una era, él sabía que iba a llegar, pero que igualmente está eternamente agradecido por todo lo que Prince le ha dado, entre otras cosas estar aquí con vosotros. The MPE members, you or other Prince musicians come back to Barcelona?
Oh, absolutely.
We would like
You know,
to.
it's funny because I always wondered since we started back in 2017 with the band that we never, I don't know if it's a promoter thing, I don't know. I said, why did nobody want us in Spain? I'm like, we haven't been back to play in Spain, and I don't know why. And because we want to come here, I mean, we came here with Prince. I played all the bullfighting rings. I went to Milan, not Milan, Madrid, everywhere. And so I'm like, why? Do they not like us here? They don't like us in Spain. So we absolutely would love to come here. If anybody got any connections with promoters, we won't come back to Spain, man.
Bueno, pues nada, muchísimas gracias. Bueno, last question. Fred from France.
Viva la France!
Viva la France!
Viva la France!
Hi, Maurice. Can you tell us about the Purple Rain Broadway you are working on since years?
Sobre el musical. Está preguntando por el musical de Purple Rain. Okay.
So, there is a new musical, Purple Rain on Broadway, the musical, that myself and Bobby Z from the Revolution are, we are basically consultants to make sure that the music is true to the form of Prince, and that you know that it's in the proper ballpark with what we're used to for Prince music. I can tell you that it is. Jason, who is the music director for the Broadway musical, is phenomenal. He's doing the Michael Jackson. It's a Tony Award winning show. The music in this thing is fantastic. And that is, I think, is the best. I think there's going to be some more changes as it relates to the story, because this is the time that you have to figure that out. When you get it in front of audiences, you see what the audience likes. If it's too long, these spots didn't work, they work those kinks out. And I'm telling you, I've been to a few of those things. It is amazing. They rewrite it, and then they come out and they redo it. And it's like bam, boom, bam, just like, it's amazing. So it's going to be great, I believe. You know, between Bobby and I, listening to the music, that part is covered. If they get the story right, the singers are great. I think this kid has worked very hard. It's weird though, when I'm standing next to him, we looking eye to eye. He's this tall. And so it's like, you're the tallest Prince I ever seen. So he's very tall, but he's very good. And I'm hoping, and from all indications, I just read a couple of reviews, and it got positive, I think, very positive reviews. There was some section where people said it's too long and they need to shorten that out. That's easy. You cut that out and you make it, and because at the end of the day, it's about the music, and then they get the story tweaked out and really figured out. I think it's going to be great. By the time it gets to Broadway, I think it's going to be a big, I think it'll be a Tony Award winning show, I think.
Bueno, pues que le gusta mucho, que la calidad es estupenda, que el chico que hace de The Kid es altísimo y que es el Prince más alto que ha existido nunca, y que él cree que incluso puede llegar a ganar un premio Tony. Así que eso esperamos, ¿no? A ver si es un éxito. Pues nada, muchas gracias.